What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are. We've almost made it just about to the end of August, and boy, this has been such a turnaround story for me. From down $10,000 on the month on, I think, the 14th, so almost to the halfway point, now I'm up $40,000 on the month as of today. Another $5,000 of profit, so $50,000 turnaround in the last 10 days of trading. That's what momentum is all about. Hot streaks, they're always, clustered together, these winners back to back to back to back, because when the market is hot, we're seeing huge amounts of volatility, we're seeing huge amounts of opportunity, and that's when I make the most money. When the market slows back down, things become kind of just a little flatter, we don't see as much volatility, and even if you want to be really aggressive, there's just not as much to trade, and so you just kind of have to wait. And then when things, make a little money while you're waiting, but then when things pick up, that's the time for me to bring out the big share size and start to be aggressive. So this month really feels like a blessing to hit my $40,000 monthly goal on a month that not only did I totally not expect it, but that I was actually down $10,000 on the month at one point. And so, in this kind of spirit of Thankful Thursday, being mindful and grateful for the success that I have as a trader, for the amazing opportunity to teach all of you guys my strategy, I want to lead the way by giving back every penny of today's profits to a couple of local nonprofit organizations. So Berkshire Bounty, which is a organization that helps provide food for those who need food. Berkshire Agriculture Ventures, which helps local farmers, get up and running, which is, one of these things like shop local food, no farms, no food. And then the third, the Berkshire Humane Society. So for the pets that don't have a home this summer and need a little bit of support in a transition or whatever they're going through, I want to help those guys as well. So I think the thing here is to lead the way and to show you guys that when you've achieved success as a trader, which I hope happens for many of you, that you give back some of that success. You send the ladder back down in the form of helping beginner traders who are trying to find their path to success and helping other organizations out there that can use the support of folks that have found some success in life. All right, so that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. As always, questions, comments, leave them below, and I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. All right, everyone. So we're going to do our midday market recap here. I'm just going to pause or mute those alerts because I don't want to hear them right now. They're going to distract me. So we'll break down the stocks that I traded this morning. Today's been a pretty solid day, up $5,407. Well, rounding up, $5,406.96. But, let's round up for charity. And that's only an extra 4 cents. But in any case, $5,407 today. That's my profits. And so for Thankful Thursday, last Thursday for the month of August, I'm going to give all of this to some local nonprofit organizations. I think one of the things, as I was just saying, that's really important is, you guys are going to find that when you learn a strategy that is consistently profitable and you start generating a significant amount of profit, it's the right thing to do to give some back. Making $5,000 a day, this is $1 million a year. When you're hitting $5,000 days, this is a lot of money to be making, and it's certainly more than most of us need to live a totally comfortable life. And there's a lot of people out there that are struggling, and even an extra $50 a day would make a huge difference. So this August, I'm going to make a couple donations. Last month in July, I donated to Danny and Ron's Rescue. We talked about this. This is the Netflix documentary, which was really terrific, and I was happy to make a donation to their rescue organization for animals, and I donated to the Berkshire Humane Society. This month, I'm going to donate to the Berkshire Humane Society again, but also to Berkshire Agricultural Ventures and Berkshire Bounty, two other local organizations, and these are really, this is about providing food to those in need. So trying to do something a little special here as we come to the end of the month. This has been a real surprising month, a turnaround story for me. I started this month by promptly losing $10,000. So I went into the red by 10 grand, which was really disappointing. But I ended up bouncing back. I had a nice bounce back, and as of today, I'm going to be sitting up $40,000 on the month. This is my profit before this morning. So 35,000 now plus another 5,400 right here, which is not bad at all. And you can see this is my P&L from the month. Red, 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 and then the last 10 days, $50,000 from down 10 grand now to up 40 grand on the month. So a real turnaround here. Okay, so let's talk about the stocks from today. This is an interesting day because today I didn't have a really a strong sense of what was going to be working as we came into the open. The leading gapper this morning was ROX, R-O-X. However, this stock trading sideways on a buyout. So the company's been bought out at $1.27, and it's trading at exactly that amount. It's just going sideways. So we're not going to trade this. There's no volatility. We profit from volatility. It's up 90%, which is awesome, but it's not going to give any opportunities for additional trades. So that's ROX. ARCI, second leading gapper. This one I didn't really trust. My issue with this one was primarily that it had this big sell-off 2 days ago where it squeezed up, it didn't hold these levels, did a total reversal, came back down from $9 back down to $3.96. I mean, really terrible. So as it was gapping up today, I really just felt that this was going to be, at most, a small bounce off the lows. I just didn't think it would be anything really impressive. And the only opportunity on it that I kind of missed, I suppose, there was this little break over 5. It hit a high of 508 and then dropped down to 475. So it didn't hold that level at all. So that was a failed breakout. It then came back up a second time right here, broke 508, and it did end up squeezing to 553. Did a little 1 minute pullback here, rejected, and sold off. So this was an opportunity. However, at the time, the stock was below the VWAP, the volume weighted average price. It was below the moving averages. It was, to me, weak on the daily. And I thought, you know what? Right now, I need to be the spear fisherman. I need to be looking for that that perfect opportunity. And this is kind of a small fish. I could take a swing at it, but while I'm focusing on that, I might miss a better opportunity, and I might end up making a mistake and having an unnecessary loss. So I'm going to just leave that one alone. So that one I just set aside. This one was too expensive. This one didn't have enough volume. CPAH, I said, I'm not really into that one because it's too cheap. Now let's look at my metrics year to date. Year to date coming into today, not including today's profits. Net profit, $306,000. Gross profit before commissions, $361. So my brokers made $56,000 or $54,000, and that's because I'm a pretty active trader. So that's just part of the deal. 70% accuracy, which is nice, and price and volume. Look at how much money I make on stocks under $2. This year, only $5,000. Not a lot. Most of my profit has been on stocks between 2 and 4, 2 and 5, and on stocks between 5 and 10. Above 10. I've made money, and those have been on the days where stocks usually open the day at like 7 or 8 and squeeze up to 9, 10, 11, 12 and move higher. The couple of trades I've taken on stocks between 20 and 50 have been, again, ones that were in the teens and just kept going higher and higher and higher. So unfortunately, I know my wheelhouse, and I stop trading above this price range, and I don't go below $1. So this is where my profitability is pretty much. And when I saw CPAH, I pretty much looked at it and thought, it's below $2. Not really worth taking any trades on. This isn't going to be, particularly strong trade. So I'm going to leave that alone. So left that one alone. And, in fact, it did end up making a bit of a move here from $1.40 A little pullback here, $1.58, and then a squeeze up to $1.79. But I sat on the sidelines for it, so that's fine. Left that one alone. Going down the scans further, so this was off, 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 off. Nope. SFET was the same. It's too cheap, so I wasn't interested in that. Whoops. So I left that one alone. This was too expensive. And so basically you can see the top 10 gappers, none of them looked good for me for a gap and go trade. So today I was watching the high day momentum scanner and the bell rings, the market opens, and we see CPAH hitting the scans. RKDA pops up. RKDA, I thought, well, first daily candle to make a new high is over 850. There's a possibility there, but I don't know if I'm really into it. I think I'm going to leave it alone, so I left that one alone. ARCI was on the scans. This more expensive one was on the scans. This one was on the scans, TWMC, but it was selling off. So it came up on the scans as it bounced off the low, but that wasn't hitting new highs. Below high a day is the filter on that scan. ARCI on the scan again. Was sitting on the sidelines for that. VTSI I did end up trading, but not the first time I hit the scanner. It squeezed up from a low of 225 all the way to 3, and then it pulled back. I bought the 5-minute breakout right here. We'll talk about that in a second. So then MTC hits the scanners. I see it, and the first thing I see is it's hitting 2 of my scanners at the same time. It's hitting my high volume, low float scan, and it's hitting my former low float momentum stock scanner. So hitting 2 of them at the same time. Now that for me is usually a pretty good sign of strength. So I pull it up, and as I'm pulling it up, I'm already bringing my mouse here and typing in MTC, and I've got my hand on the buy button. All I need to do is look at the daily chart, and I remind myself, yep, former runner. This is the day where it went from 250 to 13. We are in a hot market right now. It is squeezing up. It's already up 15%. It's a former runner, history making big moves. The daily chart is okay. It does have the 20 moving average here, but I think it's worth a try. So I jump in. Now I'd also quickly noticed that it had squeezed from about 350 up to 4. So buying as it broke over 4 and into the circuit breaker halt, which was at, let's see, where was the halt? Now I'm trying to remember. I think it was 428. Yeah, so we had the halt here at 428. All right, so it squeezes up into a halt, and I'm adding as it's going up. All right, so that was right here. It's then halted. It resumes and squeezes up to a high of 466. I added on this for the break over 450. It breaks 450 to $0.50. I then sell 463. I'm selling more in the 50s. It then comes back down and I hit the bid. Control Z is when I sell at the bid. And when I sell in the bid, I'm selling actually 5 cents below the bid. Actually, I'm pretty sure of it. Let me just double check. Someone was asking about this earlier. So keyboard, custom orders. All right, so 5 cents below the bid. Yep, so it's a NASDAQ route selling, limit order, 5 cents below the bid. So I hit the bid on this, and it drops down. It looks like it's going to halt going down, and then it starts to curl back up. As it curls back up, I'm watching it, and the first 5-minute candle to make a new high was right here at 415, and it ended up squeezing back up. I didn't jump back in it until it broke over 450. That's where I got back in to ride the momentum here from 450 up to 475, and then check out this 1-minute pullback right here, picture perfect, from 460 all the way up here to 525, which was awesome. It then pulls back here again. I did get back in for the break of 5. It does a false breakout only to 508 and then drops back down. And since then it's been going sideways until it broke the VWAP right here. So some really great opportunities on this. I wasn't in a position to really hit home runs on it because the first trade ended up failing. And then when I got back in up here, I felt like I was obviously buying it fairly extended. So I didn't feel like I could take huge size. And then when I took my trade right here for the break over 5, or maybe that was right here for this break over 5, it failed. So I did okay on it. Not a home run that I would say. I would say this was just like a fairly decent, solid trade, but not quite the home run that I was looking for. So that was MTC. And let me see if I can get Facebook back up and running. I don't know. I think there's an issue with the Facebook Live. Those of you guys watching this on YouTube, you're welcome to check out our Facebook channel for these recaps live, usually around lunchtime each day. All right, so it looks like it's running. All right, so those of you guys on Facebook, welcome back. Hopefully this stream stays connected a little longer than the last one. So we were just going over the trades on MTC. This was the first one I jumped into. And again, just to reiterate, my process. I see a stock hit the scanner. My first question is, which scanner is it hitting? Now, if a stock is hitting this scanner of massive volume, medium float, I don't even really notice it because I don't have an audio alert turned on. If I right click, I can go down here to properties and actions, and I could turn on an audio alert, but it would turn on for this entire scanner. And this scanner has all of these strategies built into it. And so what I actually do is I have a duplicate of this scanner right back here that only includes the one that I want audio alerts for, which are massive volume and low float. And I always keep it hidden because it's going to show the exact same stock, but this is the one that has the action, the audio alert turned on. So MTC triggers the audio alert, boing, boing. And I look at it and I see high volume, low float. It's not massive volume yet. And then I see former runner. And now when I see our former low float momentum stock. So when I pulled it up, the first thing I looked at was the daily chart and this day where the stock squeezed from 250 all the way up to $13.35. So it's got a history of making big moves. So I jumped in as soon as it hit the scanner, riding this first wave of momentum and then getting back in for the second wave of momentum. I tried a third, I thought maybe a third wave was starting here and got stopped out. So 2 really solid trades, $3,846.46 of profit on MTC. The next trade was VTSI. VTSI was a 5-minute time frame setup. We had this 5-minute flag pattern right here. As it broke on this candle, I jumped in and was adding as it was going higher here. So I actually added at $3, thinking it was going to break 3 and make a move. I knew the 200 moving average was up here, but I thought that maybe we would be able to break through that level. So I was wrong. It pulled back. I held through the pullback, and then as it curled back up, I got back out with profit. So $1,560 on that trade, which gives me a net profit of $5,406.96. So a really solid day. This is the 10th day of great momentum. This is the last Thursday for the month of August. So that's why I'm doing the Thankful Thursday donation, donating all of today's profits to the nonprofit organizations here in Berkshire County. And tomorrow is going to be the last day of August. So I really encourage you guys to go through your metrics for the month of August. What have you been doing that's working? What have you been doing that you need to think about in a little bit more detail and try to turn it around? For me, if I look at, let's see, my first 10 days or so of August, let's go to here. I looked at the first 2 weeks, and I didn't take a ton of trades. I was down about almost $9,000, but my accuracy was only 46%, which is terrible. And I was losing twice what I was making on average. And I looked at those metrics. At the beginning of the month, I looked at this and I said, what I'm doing isn't working. I've got to make a change. I've got to step back. I've got to slow down. And so what I said is, on the profit trifecta, what do I need to focus on? Do I focus on, well, right now my consistency is obviously terrible. So, the question was, do I focus on consistency? Do I focus on my profit loss ratio? Do I focus on my accuracy? Those are the three core components that we talk about. So we've got consistency, we've got profit loss ratio, and we've got accuracy right here. And so I said, you know what, the one that I need to focus on is accuracy. Because if I can get my accuracy back up towards 65, 75%, then invariably the profits will follow. The losses will most likely be smaller because I'm focusing on better quality setups. And so now from the 15th to today, the 28th, well, this isn't going to include today's profit. Let's see what's happened with my accuracy. It is turned around. I've taken 100 more trades. I've traded more, and my accuracy has gone up to 77%, and my profit loss ratio, well, it's gotten better. Average winner, 886, average losers, 1,000. But this is what really has turned things around. The accuracy has almost doubled. So following that focus of accuracy first, that will lead to improved profit loss ratio. That will result in more consistency and better profitability across the board, has gotten me to where I needed to be on the month. So now I'm going to sit here at the second to last day of the month, up 35,000 before today's profits. That's going to be 40,000. And tomorrow, anything that I get is just icing on the cake. And I just, I'll just be grateful for that. So, I want you guys to do that same analysis of what's your game plan for September. Of course, my 2 cents would be focus on accuracy, trade the best, leave the rest. But, if you have a particular, you may go into your metrics and you may see that your issue is primarily, price related, that you're making a lot of mistakes on a certain price range or certain days and times, Mondays. I mean, whatever the case is, my afternoon trades this month have been disasters. So I'm done with that. I'm not going to trade past 11 a.m. I'm just going to cut it at 11. And that would have put an extra $15,000 in my pocket for profit this month if I had followed my my standard rule. But I think for me, what I ended up doing was feeling like this is a month where I typically don't make as much money, and so I should compensate for that by trading longer each day. Because sometimes there are opportunities in the afternoon, and I look back and I feel like, oh, I missed them. And this felt like this wouldn't be a month where I could afford to miss good opportunities. And so I traded in the afternoon, and guess what happened? I just ended up losing money. It was not a good decision. So you live and you learn. At least I lived, and I can, report back and say afternoon trading is simply not worth it. So I'm going to leave the afternoon trading alone, and going into September, focus as usual, 9:30 to 10:30, 11 a.m., focusing on stocks between $2 and $8, and I'll be a little aggressive on stocks between 8 and 20, but above 20, bring the aggressiveness back down a little bit. All right, so that's about it for me. I hope you guys have had a really solid day and a solid couple of weeks here. And I want to encourage you guys, use that coupon code Labor Day, 30% off store-wide, whether it's the Warrior Starter, the Warrior Pro courses, or the chat room. Get into the chat room, get into the classes, and watch over my shoulder as I trade tomorrow and then trade through the month of September and hopefully find my way to another $40,000 of profit. All right, so those of you guys in the chat room and on YouTube, I will see you all first thing tomorrow morning. And those of you guys on Facebook, I'll stay here for just another minute or so. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.